Hi friends, Benjamin here from English Classes Online. In today's lesson, our focus is on vocabulary associated with agriculture. And you know that there are words associated with every field of life. And so we are going to look at vocabulary development, what it is, and specifically vocabulary associated with agriculture. If you are new to this channel, kindly subscribe to the channel by clicking on the subscribe button below. Make sure you click on the bell icon as well, so that whenever a new video goes live on the channel, you will be notified instantly. Let's dive into the lesson right away. We begin with the lesson objectives. At the end of the lesson, you should be able to do the following. Number one, define vocabulary. 2, define agriculture. 3, list and explain words and phrases associated with crops and use them in meaningful English sentences. And 4, mention words associated with farming and farming activities. Let's begin with the meaning of vocabulary. What is vocabulary? Vocabulary is a collection of words employed by a language, group, individual, or work, or in a field of knowledge, such as agriculture. So there are different shades of meaning for each English word, and vocabulary is not an exception. So here we can use vocabulary to refer to all the collection of words that an individual knows in a language, or a collection of words that are relevant to a particular field of knowledge. Now, let's expand on this by looking at examples. You know, a student with a large vocabulary, you are looking at all the words that a student knows. And a student who has a large vocabulary knows a lot of words in that language. You can talk about the vocabulary of lawyers, or you can talk about the vocabulary of medicine, or the vocabulary of agriculture, the vocabulary of business, and so on and so forth, okay? Now, what is agriculture? Agriculture is the science or practice of farming, including cultivation of the soil for the growing of crops and the rearing of animals to provide food, wool, and other products, okay? That is agriculture. And we have some branches of agriculture, and the first one is agronomy. This branch of agriculture is the one that deals with crop production and farm management. It is called agronomy, okay? And then the second one is horticulture. And this has to do with the farming of fruits, vegetables, and ornamental plants, okay? This actually is the one known as horticulture. Now, let's look at types of crops. First, types of crops based on utility, okay? And we have 6 of them. We have cereals. These are tall grasses grown for their nutritious seeds. Examples are wheat, corn, rice, barley, millet, and so on and so forth. Now, cereals are rich in carbohydrates and are commonly used in daily food worldwide, okay? If you have eaten rice this morning, or you took bread and tea for your breakfast, you have taken aspects of cereals. The next one is seeds. All crop plants produce seed as their raw material, and these seeds are used as food. However, some plant seeds are not used as food because they are not edible, okay? And such inedible seeds include apple or cherry seeds, okay? Then you have edible seeds such as grains, legumes, and nuts. They are rich in daily food fats, okay? Then you have pulses. A pulse is the edible seed from a legume plant, okay? Pulses include beans, lentils, and peas. They supply protein in daily food, okay? The next type of crop is fruits. They include plants like apples, mangoes, cherries, bananas, watermelon, and so on and so forth. Fruits are a quick source of minerals, vitamins, and carbohydrates, and they serve as an efficient source of energy. Okay? Then we have vegetables. They include spinach, bamboo shoots, carrots, leaf vegetables, microgreens, and so on and so forth. Vegetables are a rich source of vitamins, minerals, and fiber, okay? Then we have spices, which include chili, ginger, black pepper, and so on and so forth. Spices and herbs have alkaloids, okay, as nutritional values, okay, or nutritional products, if you like. Still on types of crops, we have feed and forage crops. That's a different class of crops. They are mainly grown for animal feed. Natural pastures and grasslands are included here. Whether cultivated or not, they can all be classified as feed and forage crops. The forages are grown and harvested like any other crop and classified as annual or perennial crops. Forage crops are specially grown for livestock grazing or are stored as silage or hay. Feed crops help meet production goals in terms of growth or weight gain and help balance seasonal bottlenecks between feed demand and supply. These plants serve as green fodder for livestock, for example, besim, sorghum, oats, and so on. Then we have oilseed crops. These are crops that are used to obtain oil by crushing their seeds. Later, the oil is used for lubrication or cooking. Examples include mustard, soybeans, peanuts, flax seeds, castor oil plants, sesame, rapeseed, sunflower, and so on and so forth. Oilseed crops are rich in fats, okay? Then we have fiber crops, and they are crops grown purposely to produce fibers and for textiles, ropes, and fillers, such as mattress fillers. You have crop, kenna, jute, sun hemp, industrial hemp, and flax. These are all fibrous crops. Then we have ornamental crops. These are plants that are grown for ornamental purposes in gardens and landscaping projects such as house plants, cut flowers, and displays. The farming of ornamental plants is known as floriculture, which is the main branch of horticulture. Remember, we looked at two branches of agriculture, agronomy and horticulture. And then there is a sub branch of horticulture that is called floriculture. From the word flowers, of course, you have floriculture. It refers to the cultivation of flower plants, okay? These are called, ornamental plants, okay? Then you have industrial crops or cash crops. They are crops that are produced for profit and for industrial uses. For example, you have cotton and jute for fiber. You have sugar cane and sugar beet for sugar. You have coffee and tea for drinks. You have opium and tobacco for alkaloids and smoking. Then you have coffee, tea, coconut, and rubber. They are also known as plantation crops, okay? Now, still on types of crops, we have types of crops based on life cycle, you know, how long they last when they are planted, okay? Then we have three main types: annual, biennial, and perennial crops. Now, annual crops are plants that have a life cycle of 1 year, okay? Examples are calendula, zinnias, tomatoes, radishes, eggplant, peppers, beans, okra, peas, squash, pumpkins. They also include lettuce, cucumbers, safflower, mustard, amaranth, sunflower, of course, already mentioned, and all the types of grains and peanuts, okay? These are all annual plants. So any plant that, you know, lasts for a year or has a life cycle of 1 year, okay, is an annual plant. Then we have biennial crops. You know, annual crops are those that have a life cycle of 1 year, but biennial crops are flowering plants with a 2-year biological life cycle. Examples include onions, carrots, cabbages, beets, turnip, bread seed, poppies, and so on and so forth. Then we have perennial crops. Perennial crops are crops that, unlike annual crops, don't need to be replanted each year. Okay, so after harvest, they automatically grow back. Many fruit and nut crops are naturally perennial crops. Examples include cashew tree, cocoa tree, okay, coconut, cola nuts, okay, then oil palm tree, rubber tree, and moringa plant. These are all, you know, perennial crops, okay? Then let's look at farming and farming activities, okay? Now, what is farming? Farming is the activity or business of growing crops and raising livestock. That is what farming is about. Then we have types of farming, okay? Arable farming is a method of farming that involves growing crops primarily in regions that have a warm climate across the year. That is arable farming. You have mixed farming, where crop production is combined with the rearing of livestock. That's why it's mixed. You know, you cultivate crops and you also rear animals. That's mixed farming. Commercial farming is cultivation of crops and raising of animals for sale in the open market in order to make profit. The farmer produces mainly cash crops such as cocoa, sugarcane, tobacco, cola nuts, etc. Okay. Then we have extensive farming. This refers to when more land is brought under cultivation in order to increase output. So you keep, you know, increasing land, okay? More land is utilized, is cultivated, so extensive. To increase output, then you increase the land, okay? But then intensive farming is the opposite. Here, more labor is employed, more labor and capital is used on the same farmland, the same parcel of land, but you only increase labor and you increase capital to get more yields. So that's the difference between extensive farming. In extensive farming, you increase the quantity of land. In intensive farming, you use more labor and capital, but on the same parcel of land. Then more on farming and farming activities, we have organic farming. This is farming that does not involve the use of modern artificial additives like chemical fertilizers, pesticides, and so on. So, you know, when you talk of organic food, you are looking at pure food that's grown naturally from the soil, okay? Then pastoral farming refers to raising livestock and poultry for mass production of animal products such as milk, chicken, eggs, chicken eggs or meat, okay? Then mixed farming, we have talked about that, where you combine crop production with rearing of livestock. Then subsistent farming, this is farming for personal use, purely to feed yourself and your family. Then nomadic farming is a method of raising animals that involves moving them from one place to another in search of better grazing land and water. Those who, you know, rear cattle and you find them with their cattle from up north down to the south, and, you know, they are the headers, the headsmen, if you like. They are involved in nomadic farming. Now, sedentary farming, unlike nomadic farming, sedentary farming involves using the same land every year without moving your animals from place to place. The average farmer in the south, in southern Nigeria, is involved in sedentary farming. They don't move their, you know, their livestock from one place to another. They have their farmlands, okay? And so those are different types of farming, as we have already seen. So if you have followed this lesson, you must have learned quite a number of new words associated with agriculture. So we are going to draw the curtain here right now. If you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel by clicking on the subscribe button below. Make sure you click on the bell icon as well, so that whenever a new video goes live on the channel, you will be notified instantly. I look forward to seeing you in the next class. Goodbye for now, and remain blessed. Many thanks for watching today's video. A big thank you to all of you out there for being part of today's episode. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, kindly subscribe to this channel. Subscribe now as a way of giving us support. For notification about new videos, click on the bell icon. You will find the bell icon. Click on it so that whenever a new video is uploaded, you will be instantly notified. If you have actually enjoyed the video, like and share the video with your friends and relatives. This is very important. If you have any comments, leave your comments below. Any questions, any suggestions, we would gladly receive them and respond promptly and positively to them. See you in the next video. I look forward to always seeing you in the new video.